G'day, welcome back to Brooksy's Car Restorations. Today's video is going to be more of a vlog style video. If I don't put something like this out, probably won't get anything out. I was hoping to have the TR7 done before Christmas, but it's not looking like it's going to necessarily be a possibility at this stage, and you'll see why soon. Just so much crap going on. It's not a priority because it's obviously off the road at the moment. It's needing a lot of work, so you know, when one of my dailies or one of my other cars need attention, then obviously that gets the attention. But for a while there I was done with things, so I had time to work on it, but it is what it is. Plus I'm helping some friends with some stuff as well, so so before we start the vlog, I'm just going to do a bit of a walk around. I currently have 7 cars. My place is just full. I need to sell some stuff. I'm also having another car, so I've got 8 because I've got another car supposedly coming eventually from Ben. So yeah, the 120Y wagon, lowered wagon. Can't wait to get that, but it's still not here yet. So I mean, not that I have the space for it anyway. So anyways, and if you've watched my channel for a while, I use these trolleys for a lot of stuff. I've set them up with some rubber to help protect different body panels and stuff, which will be good. So in the last episode you saw the TR7. We haven't done much more with that since. Yeah, did a bit of painting, cleaned up some areas. I am going to finish this car, just not sure if it'll get done before Christmas. I really hope and pray it does, but who knows. Like I said, I'm helping a friend out with something. This is a rear tailgate off a HT wagon, old Holden HT wagon, and as you can see, she needs a bit of love. So my primary job today is to smash that out, or try to. She's got a bit of cancer, unfortunately. With these things, they you know, sit on the back of the car, and if the car hangs out of the garage or whatever like that, I don't know what's happened exactly, but you know, water comes down in here, pulls down in the bottom here. I'm not sure why it rusted out right up to here, because there's holes in the bottom, should drain, but whatever. She's maybe it had some leaf or something in there, I don't know, but both sides aren't looking the best. Bit of bubbling as well. So in this video we'll address all that rust, or try to, best we can. There's a little spot on the other side too, just a bubble. I think it's just surface rust, so hopefully it'll just need a bit of a clean up and a respray. So yeah, we'll take that off, you know, go to town on it basically. So the main reason I haven't been putting up much content is because my wife was involved in a hit and run. Her poor old Pearl, next to new Suzuki, was completely destroyed. Unfortunately, the driver hit her and just drove off. He was driving up the wrong side of the road. I am denied about whether I would film any of this. Probably not going to go too into detail about this. Just know that she is alive and well and recovering. And depending on how things go with insurances and blah 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 blah, I may be parting this out, or I might be, well, there's some of the bits and pieces I'll be keeping, like the seats. I've already stole the battery. Not that I think it'll fit any of my cars. It's got really small posts, battery posts, so maybe I can get an adapter for those, I don't know. But they're really tiny compared to your regular posts. They're not super small, but whatever. what I want to do also is so yeah, take the seats. I don't know if I want to put them in the Rocky or in the TR7, but they've got a really nice seat. You know, it's like a sort of a sporty sort of a seat. As you can see, the airbags are going off and everything. I want to get the entertainment system thing too. Put that in the Rocky. Just little things. Still the wiper bottle and that. Still the overflow bottle. Stick it in Left 4 Dead. If they'll fit or make them fit, either way. So yeah, a bit sad, but we'll do what we can with this car and then send her off to the wreckers or something. Maybe I can sell some doors and some glass and stuff out of it, and some headlights. Headlights still fine. I don't know. We'll turn a sad thing into a happy. Well, potentially not happy, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the Porsche Suzuki. Next on the chopping block is the Rocky. Now, we don't need to do a ton of stuff on this car. What I will do eventually though is I got some new belts to go on the back of it, some retractable ones. Should be getting driven today too, hopefully. We've got a bit of rust coming up in the excuse me. What do you call those? The channels, not the channels, gutters, whatever. There's a bit of rust coming up in there. You know, a bit of surface rust here in the corner. We'll clean that up and address that before it gets too bad. Car's still pretty clean. So yeah, one of the seat belts is busted on that side. So I'm replacing these with retractable seat belts, which we might do this episode, I don't know yet. But I've still got those sitting in the shed waiting to be done. And then which one have we got next? Left 4 Dead. There's a ton of stuff needs to get done on this thing. I've just started a video on this actually. We've just pulled all the rear brake lines out because this thing was sitting in the dirt for God knows how long. All the back lines were really disgusting and gross. You'll see that in the next video. Anyways, we're in the process of getting the brakes fixed so we can hopefully get the clutch to let go so we can drive it. And then eventually it'll get restored. It still needs tons of stuff like a rear window, front window, tons of rust work. Where are we? At the back as well. And various other places, guards. The bonnet's pretty cactus. Still haven't decided whether we're swapping that or fixing it. Almost had a bonnet for it, but anyways. So yesterday I was mowing the lawn and decided to throw a rock through my back window of the Tribute. So that night I'm in an iron whether we're gonna try and fix this ourselves or we get someone else to do it. Dad seems to think it's easily done. I am not so confident with glass, and I'd rather pay someone to do it than potentially break more glass. But it's not like a normal window. It sort of opens and closes, and apparently it can just be bolted on and bolted off. So it might be quite easily doable. So we'll have to look into that. But we literally just fixed this back door, so that's very, very annoying. Earlier in the week, which I didn't film, also we gave her a service, and I found out that she's misfiring and carrying on a lot, and that's due to the one or two of the coils are cracked. So I bought a whole new coils for it, and it's not real fun because you've literally got to remove the entire intake to get to the back coils, which because I put all new spark plugs in it. I'll show you. So yeah, the front ones are under this cover, which are easy to get to. The two crack ones are just here and here, which is good. But yeah, there's your intake. You've got to take that completely off to get to the back end, so that's fun. Yeah, so anyways, still got to clean detail this car. Do the headlights, give them a buff and polish. It's pretty well done though, this car. Unless it gives us any more dramas. I've been keeping it though and using it because it's stinking hot summer and it's got a nice cold air conditioner, so which is also leaking. I had that supposedly fixed and that's leaking now too, so who knows whether I'll bother with that or not. So next on the list is my wife's new car, because as you know, that one got destroyed. Say hello to her 2024 Kia Picanto. Now, is it just me or does this back end look like a Stormtrooper? Not my cup of tea, but you know, the wife really likes it, loves it, enjoys it. It's not a bad little car. When you lock it, the mirrors open and close. It's got all your mod cons in it. The Bluetooth stereo, and she's got front and rear cameras now too, just in case someone wants to mess with her. Not that I think it'll help all that much, but whatever. Sorry about the sirens, I had to turn that off for a second. So yeah, that's TR7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Number 7, our Tarago. Now the Tarago is done. We did this a few videos back. Doesn't really need anything at the moment. I mean, it could do with maybe a front tyre or two, and a light cover, which I'm not that stressed about, but you know, it is what it is. The light still works, so whatever. Has a little bit of rust coming in here and here and up in there, which we could clean up too potentially, but whatever. The car's great, runs and drives beautifully. We took it camping, we drove it all over the place for about 2 weeks. Not a single drama out of it. Absolutely loved it. And this school holidays, so maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, we might take it for another big cruise somewhere. It's a really good little camping rig. So yeah, need to move a couple of things on, probably these two, make some more space slash whatever. I would have more space, except the TR7's taking up the whole garage. Normally can fit 2 cars in here, but I'm trying to get this smashed out by making it take up 2 spots. I'm hoping that will push me to get it done. Anyways, alright, so what we've done is we've taken this cover off. The back's a little bit surface rusty and oily and whatnot, so we'll clean that up, give it a dust with some paint, some undercoat or whatever. Now what I want to do is brand new wire wheel. I want to clean this up as much as I can and see what we're working with before we start cutting. So we'll clean it up, wire wheel it, find out how much I need to cut off, because if I start cutting and the metal's still reasonable, it's not necessary in my opinion. But and then we'll go from there, give it all a good vacuum out, and then when it's done, all said and done, I've put it all back together, we'll give everything a good oiling, either fish oil or sump oil or something inside there, help it stop it rusting out again potentially. We'll use some rust converter as well. Alright, let's get into it. I'll probably just do like before and afters, because I've got a very time crunch sort of a situation going on, so yeah. So we've cleaned up the rusty spots. that one doesn't quite go all the way through. There's another bit of metal behind there. So if we clean that up, we might be able to save the back plate and just reskin the front part. There's multi-layers in here as well, but that'll all have to get cut out, that around there, all up to around here, and out and around that corner there, and down there and down there. And we found more holes that were hidden that weren't even showing. A couple under here, they're only tiny. That one there will need cutting out. There's a big bubble here, but I've cleaned that up and it's just a tiny little crater. It's really nothing. Another little hole here. Another little hole. Well, not little. Another hole here. That's not as bad as the other side. But that'll all need cutting out. It'll need double sheets of metal. And the bracket that holds the screws in is floppy and loose, so that'll need maybe tacking in place or something to hold that up so you can screw it back in. And then lastly, this hole here, which has got some folded metal in it, so that'll be quite fun too. This side, however, wasn't too bad. I cleaned that there up and it's still solid. So, and there's another little bubble on the other side of the door which we'll have to get to eventually, but anyways, fun and games, fun and games. Righto, I wasn't going to do this, but I thought this was interesting. I've taken out the first chunk of rust, and there's a massive, it looks like mud nest or some wasp nest or whatever, sitting up behind there, potentially rotting it out. So that's interesting. I may also have to suction all this off. I don't want it falling in the door before I go any further. But yeah, nice clean cut there, plenty of clean metal to weld to. The undersheet, however, is questionable, so we'll have to get and have a close look at that and see how we're going to fix that. Righto, so back working on the Tribute. Got all new coils. Just taking the first one out that was cylinder 6. So we'll take out these two because they were definitely causing issues, and I'll just replace all 3 actually, and then we'll crank it over and see if it's still playing up before I decide to remove all the ones under the intake, because that's a bit of a bastard of a job also. New glasses in, and later on today that'll be over to help me put that in. Bit fun trying to do that in one hit by yourself, so see how we go. Don't know how well we'll be able to film it either, but whatever. Fresh new coils. There's 3 there, there's another 3 in the box, but whatever. Well, so far it's looking like the new coils fixed it. Before it was stumbling constantly and misfiring and carrying on. New plugs, new coils. Won't be certain until we drive it a bit, but feels good. I think I just found something else as an issue. This is supposed to be on here. Fixed another thing. Might have taken that off when we took the intake off, or accidentally taken it off. Not sure what that's for. Might help it idle up when the AC's on. Anyways. Just so you can see I actually do some work around here occasionally. We're now at the back section. I've got the intake up. I've jammed a hammer underneath it to hold it up because I don't feel like I'm disconnecting the whole thing. Rubber hammer. I've got the first of the back row things out. Already did the spark plugs. Probably should have done these at the same time, but whatever. I like doubling up on my work. So yeah. Plus, I didn't really want to throw another $200 at what do you call it? Things when spark plugs are so much cheaper. But it is what it is. So yeah, intake off to get at the back one. Not that fun, but it's not that. It's only about 6 bolts, as you can see. And then you got to pop out that thing there on the side. So we'll get all this back together, and hopefully she's running and driving a lot better now. Rightio. All new coils. Are in, tightened down, and the front ones as well. And we'll put the intake back on and we'll crank her up and see if she's still got the misfire. Although she didn't before I took the manifold off, so hopefully the front ones fixed it. But I just think if you're going to replace one, you might as well replace them all. I'm going to keep the other 4 potentially as spares or backups in case I need them in the future. But I probably won't have this car for much longer, so who knows? I'll probably just sell them, put them with the car when they sell, whatever. I guess we'll find out. Anyways, let's get the intake back on and crank her up. Righto, intake's all back on. Time to kick her in the guts. Alright, it's almost in. The new glass, new second-hand glass. And the old man's not bleeding today. Yet. Yeah. You did cut yourself, but you didn't bleed. Not too much anyways.
With a piece of glass and wept.
But normally he can't come to work without cutting himself.
I haven't put a band-aid on yet.
Yet. Fingers crossed. That's looking pretty good. Don't lean on it too hard.
I'll just keep to hold it. The gaps are right. I'll go inside and I'll tighten these 2 up.
Alright, sounds good. So this is probably going to be my Christmas / New Year's video. So for those of you watching, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff. And just for fun, I've got to make templates for the tailgate. Well, what better to make old Christmas wrapping paper. Ho, ho, ho. And on the first template of Christmas, my true love said to me. Alright, so this is the new bit of metal I've cut out. I got the fitment here pretty damn good. I've curled the edges. I've started to curve that part there. It needs a lot more adjusting. I need to also cut this in a bit better. But you get the idea. It's starting to come together. It's starting to look pretty decent. Alright, so we've got all the metal welded in, everything's sweet. You know, best of my abilities as a DIY person. Just done our, well, just put down some body filler which we'll now sand shortly. I'll just give you a quick look at that. But obviously it'll look a lot better once it's sanded. But you get the idea. If you go back to the beginning or middle of the video when I first showed you this thing, it was full of holes. It was basically Swiss cheese. And now it's full of solid metal and thin layers of bog Now it's not the best, I'm not the best at putting this crap on, but once you sand it long enough and get it nice and smooth, it'll look pretty good. And you get the idea. Did all the curvature on both sides. This side was a bit better. But yeah. Not bad for someone who doesn't have any professional tools or blah 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 blah, but we'll see how it looks after we sand it. Alrighty, this has been quite the job. But we've sanded down all the to metal in some places, or the body filler. About to hit it with some paint. So a bit of before and a bit of after. But we've got it as smooth as we can. And yeah, I don't know how well it's coming up on the camera, but you can see all the new metal I've put in. All there, big hole in here, big hole all the way out to here and up and around there, filled it up full of metal. We've cleaned it up and we're about to paint it. There was another hole somewhere here, I don't know. And another one there, another one there. Another big L shape in here with metal that I shaped. Alright, be right back. So you just got the before paint, now the after. Mind you, it's just undercoat, but still. Not looking so much like Swiss cheese anymore. I think that'll do us for now. Again, we're just a DIY channel. I've not done any professional courses or any of that stuff. Just like to mess around with things. Practice makes perfect. I wouldn't have tackled something like this if I didn't think I could do it, but probably isn't professional standard. I guess we'll find out. Rightio, back with the old HT Premier. This is what I've been working on. Well, the boot. Cool old wagon. Dad and I pulled the bumper and the rear off, and I'll put it all back together and see when it's done. Tailgate's back on. Bumper's pretty much back on. A couple more bolts left. Dad just got a nice jump scare. Flew out of the hole that he was doing.
I had my hand in.
He had his hand in. And then it ran along the diving board here and went basically whee jumped off.
They got a fright when I've seen that.
Yeah, fun and games. Alright, so we all bolted in? Yep. Alright. Put the windy up. Pop the dust off her. And you get the idea? Another car on the way to being saved. We'll give the dust a bit of a wipe off and we'll call it a day. To be continued.